It's great to have you with us for another Salt-Baked Patient Profile Green Scene. Please welcome Mario Enriquez. In addition to having helped many Utah patients as president of Utah Patients for Cannabis and Natural Choices, Mario is also a knowledgeable pharmacy agent at Perfect Earth Apothecary. He is also, as some of you may know, Utah's first patient to legally purchase medical cannabis at a Utah pharmacy. Mario found relief in cannabis from a rare and painful ocular condition called nystagmus, which causes uncontrollable eye movement. Welcome to Salt Lake City Patient Profiles, Mario Enriquez.
Thank you for having me.
And I know your face has been in the news and you're a great leader in the cannabis community. But for those of us out there that don't know you as well, could you please tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So my name is Mario Enriquez, or Marijuana. I'm president of Utah Patients for Cannabis and Natural Choices. I got involved when Proposition 2 first got started back in 2016, I believe, and just took off from there. I mean, I'm a patient myself, but I started looking at it, trying to help my family more. I lost my grandfather to an opioid addiction. My mother, my sister suffered from opioid addiction, and then my brother suffers from like street addictions and stuff like that. I just wanted to reach out and help them. Since then, I've been able to help my mom become legal patient. You know what I mean? And that's all due to you guys. You know, the voters of Utah. Thank you for helping save my mom's life. You know what I mean? And giving both of us a better quality of life on that end too. Yeah, right. I'm a pharmacy agent over at the Perfect Earth Modern Apothecary. You know, I'm continuing my education further with in the cannabis industry. There is not one person out there that I could say can honestly say they're an expert. You know what I mean? There's just so much more that can always be taught to yourself, educated, learn more about it. You know what I mean? So there's always more out there to learn. But I like to stay on top of the game and be with the rest of you guys, you know what I mean?
Understood. Well, Mario, could you tell us what specific conditions of your own that led you to discover cannabis as a medicine?
So I have a rare condition. It's called ocular albinism. I am an albino Mexican. So I have what's called the nystagmus, where my eyes constantly move back and forth all the time. They never stop. So you'll see me steer away from the screen a little bit just because me trying to get my eyes focused in and stuff like that. But that comes with a lot of pain. When I was younger, I suffered, I had to wear my glasses. Everybody always told me when I was a kid, wear your glasses, wear your glasses. And my vision was, and I suffered from a lot of migraines. My vision was going in and out of my glasses, and that was giving me migraines. Well, at an early age, around 18, 19 years old, I just decided not to wear my glasses anymore. I was like, I'm not going to wear these anymore. I think this is hurting me. And at that same time, I was smoking cannabis. Well, maybe this is it too. And probably like the first and only time I've stopped since I started. I stopped for a couple of weeks wearing my glasses and smoking cannabis to see what it was. And, my migraines weren't as bad, but I was still feeling it. So I started smoking cannabis a little bit more. And it was, obviously it was illegal back then, but I started smoking cannabis. And I felt relief. You know what I mean? I didn't never like medicine anyways, you know what I mean? But I found relief from this. It slowed my eyes down. It calmed them down. It relaxed them. I don't know, when you get hit, when you have a sunburn, how you get like, that tense feeling. It's kind of like what my eyes feel like almost all the time. When I medicate myself with cannabis, it relaxes them. I could feel, I could cope. I could be Mario. I could be Mario and then Marijuana at the same time and be where I'm needed.
And that was since you were a kid? You've experienced that? Or about what age did that start?
Well, with my eyes. So I was born with it. I was born with my eyes moving. Yeah, like they 36 years old and they're still going. You know what I mean? And there's not many motors that last that long. So eventually they will stop. And I don't know if it's going to be lights out or, you know what I mean? Just complete fuzziness and darkness. I'm not quite sure how that goes yet, but I just thinking logically, no motor is supposed to be running for that long.
So of the many specific effects and benefits of cannabis, which specific benefits do you most often look for? when it comes to choosing a strain of cannabis or product, Mario?
So I'm looking for, honestly, I'm just looking for relief. You know what I mean? I need something to help me, like I said again, get out there and do what makes me whole. What I found my joy in life. You know what I mean? And it's doing this stuff in this cannabis industry. And I find that like hybrids and indicas are really good for me. You know what I mean? I'm just calming my eyes down and stuff like that. And I'm still able to go about my day. You know what I mean? If you're sitting down, even on a sativa, sitting on your couch, sitting in your chair, it's still going to put you memes. You know what I mean? You're still going to be snuggled up with your blankie, even on a sativa, hybrid or indica. It doesn't really matter. But if you're staying active and you're doing it, the medication can do its work and relieve that pain for you. So, I mean, as long as I'm staying active, I find that the indicas and the hybrids and stuff like that do just fine for me. Me as a pharmacy agent, I do medicate before I go to work. And without having to medicate before I go do what I do, I don't think I could do what I do. You know what I mean? I stare at a computer screen. I'm up all day with these lights and stuff like that in my eyes. And without that, I don't have no life. That doesn't give me no quality of life. You know what I mean? And I not being stuck in my bed, no, I won't allow myself to get like that.
Right, understood. And of the many beautiful Utah strains that are available, Mario, which strains are you most fond of?
All right, well, great question. Give me just 2 seconds real quick.
Sure.
I actually had gotten some stuff ready for us. And what did I do with it? All right, so...
Isn't this always the case? It's never where you expect it to be.
I know, right? I'm missing a piece real quick. You know what? Let me go grab this real quick, and I'll be right back.
Take your time. Take your time.
So, what I just have a little bit of this left, and I'm kind of saving it because I do have a volcano here. This is what I medicate with. I use a volcano. I have my bag set aside right here. I'm actually going to medicate with you guys real quick.
Oh, very cool.
What I have right here is some cannabis from Dragonfly. I just have about a bowl left of this. This is the Sunday Driver. Again, I'm into my indicas. Redbeard Farmer did an excellent job doing this, growing this cannabis. I mean, there was a lot of density when you shook it up. You could hear it. You know what I mean? It was amazing taste, good terpene profile, good pain reliever, good stuff for nighttime. It was really amazing flower.
Hey, Mario, before you share that with us, could you explain to some of the people out there who may not be as familiar as you what makes up a good terpene profile?
I mean, the taste in it, like the flushing of it, the stuff that they're doing over there, like the nutrients, the light, the love that they're putting into their flowers, and then the flushing. The flushing is key. You know what I mean? If they're not flushing it right, we're not getting the right taste. You know what I mean? So just making sure that they're getting that, and you could really taste the. I mean, I love to say I could taste colors because when it comes to it, I love the taste of purple. You know what I mean? I feel like I could taste the color purple, the color blue. You know what I mean? Obviously, the color green. And it's just when those colors come out and they're just, you could taste the citrusy, the pine, the lemony. You know what I mean? It's amazing. I love it, especially with the volcano. You really get a good terpene profile out of it.
Excellent. So that would mean you favor the more like the limonene, those sort of terpenes?
I mean, I like the earthy taste. You know what I mean? I'm a connoisseur. You know what I mean? Just like if you were to put some wine and cheese in front of me, I'll pair you with the right one. I'll pair the patient with the medication that you're needing. You know what I mean? And if that's not the one, we will find you the one that you need.
Mario, do you often receive questions about what to eat with their medication?
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, they do get. Hold on, sorry.
Sure.
Sometimes just with the flowers and stuff like that. Are you talking about like with flower or with tinctures or?
Well, I was really wondering, like, and it was sort of a off-track question about what foods to pair with strains of cannabis, because I would like to explore that.
I don't know. Just, I mean, first thing, water. Water's a good one. You know what I mean? A whole lot of water. Stay hydrated. You know what I mean? I find like I see that salty and sweet, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, and sugary stuff like that seems to be, but again, you know what I mean, if you're trying to stay healthy, that's not a good thing. So again, some fruits. I like little fruit baskets and stuff like that, you know, eating on some fruits or something like that. That's really cool. Brings out even more, you know what I mean? And even like that, like with certain fruits, it could help intensify, get it going a little bit more, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Excellent.
Water.
Agua. So, sounds good.
Let's get back to the flower real quick. So I do have what is this one? This one was lavender. These are grown by Harvest of Utah. This is from their first harvest right here. So that's actually, this has actually got it's got some purple tint to it. I don't know how well I can see it. My computer wasn't working, so now I'm on my cell phone.
Well, could you point out to us what you like or what you identify about that being a craft flower? So
I mean, it is a little dry. I mean, I did have it out personally myself. It's been out for, you know, a couple hours. I was ready, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, honestly, I like the density of it. So when I talk about the flowers and what I'm looking for to see on Utah shelves, I'm looking to see something like what our Wasatch Mountains resemble. I want to see density. I want to see when that light hits it, I want to see the glimmer. I want to, you know, if you were to shrink it down and put it in a jar, I want to hear it clinking, clink, 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 clink. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to hear. When I open it up, I just want that, oh, it stinks so good smell. You know, that aroma. I mean, that just, you just want to bask in its glory. So, I mean, I want to smell that love that's putting into it. I want to hear my flowers. I want to know that there's something there. And then obviously the trimming, do you know what I mean? There's been a little issue with some of the things going on with the Utah products being like this and some of the trimming, but these products are actually trimmed very well. You know what I mean? These last few items that are getting, so the trimming's actually getting better, but not getting that trim on there, you know what I mean, is really good. Not seeing those crow's feet and stuff like that. So
could you, when you say crow's feet, Mario, there are people that aren't as familiar what to look for in a good trim. How does one go about identifying if it's being trimmed properly?
So if you're seeing any kind of extra little leaves on there, like, I mean, some of them are good little sugar leaves to have on there, and that's okay, you know what I mean? But in other senses like that, those little feet where you see like 3 little leaves poking out, you know what I mean, with the little stem sticking out of it, that's a crow's feet. You know, those will give off kind of like a green taste, like a fresh green taste, almost like yard clipping, you know, fresh cut plant type taste, you know what I mean? So it's not a very good taste. You know what I mean? And I again, I look for a nugget how I would want it looked, you know what I mean? How it felt, you know what I mean? So
excellent.
Yeah, so back to it real quick. I got some what else do I have here? So I've got some Gorilla Glue number 4. I just got a little nugget of this. I actually like the taste of this. I was hitting on this all day in my volcano. And that's actually what I got loaded in there right now. And then I have what's called Element. This is called Element. I haven't tasted this one yet. This one tastes this one smells really good.
It looks delicious.
It smells really good. So if you guys don't mind, I'm like this. I like to do videos on my. I'm president of Utah Patients for Cannabis and Natural Choices. We're a patient advocacy group here on Facebook. We help educate away 80+ years of lies. You know what I mean? We still got a lot more to go. I do live videos where I medicate myself on video, and it's not necessarily me sitting there trying to like, oh, look at me, look at me. No, it kind of is in a way, but I want patients of Utah to see the different legal ways here in Utah to medicate themselves. Do you know what I mean? There's still a lot of people out here that don't know that this is a no-ignite state, that we are not allowed to roll a joint and spark it. We're not allowed to load a bowl and spark it. We're not allowed to, you know what I mean, do things like that. We're not allowed, and people also got to understand, we are not the only state in the nation that is no-ignite. There's many other out there too, you know what I mean? So it's just the way of the future. I know people are wanting to get rid of this, but if they're wanting to do that, now is the time for our voices to be heard. We need to be getting to our legislators and make sure that's being talked about.
Right. And how can people connect with you in those missions? Where
So
and how?
following us on Utah Patients for Cannabis and Natural Choices, and not just us, but there are numerous cannabis groups out there, Utah Patients Coalitions, Utah Cannabis United, just numerous ones out there that put Prop 2 action, that put out different events, host different events and stuff like this, and we stay on top of it to where if there's an event going on, we like to be there, we like to show our presence, to make sure that we're giving out that right information, whether it's about the laws, information about getting a letter. It doesn't matter what it is. We're here to help in any way we can.
Hey, speaking of which, Mario, what was it like getting your medical cannabis card? What was the process like? Where did it happen? And
so when I first went in and got it, I thought I was good with it. You know, I went in for my appointment and everything, and I actually got denied.
Where'd you go?
To my regular physician out here in Layton. So I actually got denied, which was I walked out a little bit upset. But I went back in on March 20th of 2019. And March 20th is my birthday. So I was able to get my medical cannabis card on my letter on March 20th of 2019. And after I got out, the first person I called, like for real, was my mom. And it was more of the fact of, if anybody in this world is going to know that I'm now a medical cannabis patient, it's going to be mom. And if mom's okay with it, then the rest of the world is just going to have to accept it because mom's is cool. You know what I mean? So if mom says it's good, I'm good. Mom was so happy for me. She knew I didn't like pills. I didn't like taking pills. I was totally against it. She knew this. I was all plants over pills. When I got that letter, I literally felt a weight lifted off of my chest. I no longer had to look over my shoulder. I really felt what our campaign poster said. I felt like a patient and not a criminal. I'm getting something what I needed. The hard part was knowing that I still had to travel to go get it. We didn't have nothing like that in Utah. So it was still going up like that. And that was even before the affirmative defense letter thing was put in place.
May I ask, Mario, are you using cannabis and your traditional medications together? And if so, does that work more effectively, do you find?
No, actually, no, I don't use no pills. I don't even take Tylenol. I don't take ibuprofen. If I need to have any kind of inflammation, I'll go to my CBD products. And which I do on top of my CBD products and my THC stuff, I do use my CBD products twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. And if I need some throughout the day, I will do that. And I do recommend that to patients as well. It's a good anti-inflammatory medication. If you're medicating too much on THC, it can level you out as well.
Interesting. That's great information. Thanks for that, Mario. So thus far, where has been your most your best cannabis dispensary pharmacy experience?
So my best experience is gonna have to go back to March 2nd, 2020. You know what I mean? It was a surreal day for me. That was the day that I got to be patient one, the first patient here in the state of Utah to legally buy medical cannabis. And when they picked me out and said, you're going to be it, I was like, okay, like this is no way. You know what I mean? It hit me a little bit there. But when I went into the pharmacy and to Dragonfly on March 2nd, I went in up to the front counter, and I wish there was a couple more people beside me, but the card process at that time, you needed to have a medical cannabis card to go into the pharmacy at that time, and it wasn't able to use your letter. So there was a couple people that I wish that were standing next to me experiencing that with me, but they weren't able to. But when I was making my purchase, it was more like, I've been to a medical cannabis pharmacy before. So just a pharmacy, recreational, you know what I mean? I've been to those before. So it was just kind of like, let me get one of those. It didn't hit me until I turned around. I was walking out the door, and I was probably about like 5 feet away from the door, and I stopped. And excuse me real quick, but like I said, holy shit. I was just the first one to legally buy medical cannabis here in the state of Utah, of all states. You know what I mean? There were 18 other states at that time that were looking at Utah like they beat us.
Is
And
Utah
yes,
home
we
to you?
did. You know what I mean? Yes, we did.
Is Utah your home, or is this home turf for you, Mario?
I'm homegrown. Yes, I'm
Gotcha.
homegrown. And yes, I
Understood.
couldn't have imagined me going anywhere else and doing anything like now. And if they need some help, hey, we'll be on our way. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But I couldn't imagine not being here and doing this while I did this. I mean, when I did this during the campaign, man, I walked with giants. I walked with legends and people, you know what I mean? Like people that just, and we did it on our own dime. You know what I mean?
Who is it that you currently idolize in the cannabis industry, Mario?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there are so many people, like honestly, there are just numerous people. So starting off with my own administration, Shelly Ulrich, you know what I mean? She's helped give a lot of information to my mom. They kind of have the same condition with that fibromyalgia, you know what I mean? She's given a lot of information. So like her, Sean, Debbie, Tisha, Pam, Tiffany, Desiree Hennessy, gosh, I'm gonna forget some, but like even working with Alex and DJ and David Karst and Cole, working with Cole, you know what I mean? Joel Smith, Pete Saltis, Joel Saltis, Mikey Saltis, Stormy Simon, having the honor and privilege of getting to work with her, Carrie May, you know what I mean? There is just, the list could go on and on. Like I swear I walked with giants. Like these guys, if they write about medical cannabis in the history books, how dare them not mention these names?
Question, when you were early on, did you ever feel the need to move out of state to legally utilize cannabis?
Never.
Never felt the need to move away?
Never. This is home. And if it was gonna, if the fight was gonna start, I was not gonna miss the opening shot.
Understood.
Not at all. You know what I mean? And it was definitely not an I. It was a we effort. We did it together. You know what I mean? Utah, thank you guys so much. You've given me a quality of life. You know what I mean? And I know we've done the same thing for you.
So in the past, had you ever felt the need to hide your cannabis use from others or family?
So just mom, for just mom. That was
Just
it.
mom.
Just mom. Just mom.
Right.
Anybody else? It was open book for me. This is who I was. You know what I mean? But mom knew. You know what I mean? She knew what I did and everything like that. It's not like she approved. But once she saw me doing this, and how it was making me feel, and the good she saw I was doing for other people, she jumped right on board. And I have mom's support 100%. I would never have gotten a medical leaf tattooed on me if it wasn't for, if mom said no, it was no. You know what I mean? So mom gave the okay, and now I have 3 tattoos on me that have medical leaves on them. So thanks, mom.
Excellent. Yeah. And as we wrap up, Mario, with a bit less than 5 minutes to go, could you tell us, I know you receive questions day in, day out, but when you find yourself needing to educate friends or family or strangers about medical cannabis, what do you usually start with? What do you tell them?
First of all, that it's okay to talk about it. Even with your kids. My 15-year-old daughter comes with me to my cannabis events and sits at my booth and can sit there and have a cannabis education with a grown adult. It's okay to talk about it with your physicians, with your cousins, with your moms, grandparents. It doesn't matter. On a second note, always take into account that you are a patient, not a criminal. You're looking for something to help give you relief, to help give you a better quality of life, whether whether it's physical or emotional, and pushing away something that you just don't want to have to take anymore, your opioids. You know what I mean? I've known numerous patients that are pushing away their opioids and going towards cannabis, trying these topicals, tinctures, edibles, flower. You know what I mean? There's numerous things out there, capsules. we can medicate you on a healthier level, you know what I mean, and give you a brighter future, period. You know what I mean, without the dangers of, oh my gosh, I just took too much, let's start getting my stomach pumped. No.
So is it
Grab a glass of
possible
water
to
and go
take too
meet me.
much?
There is such a thing as it, you know what I mean, it can give some patients a bad experience, and it can ruin their experience. So if you're just starting off with cannabis, microdosing is definitely a thing. Starting off with baby steps with it, you know what I mean? Don't go up there and just, think you're Cheech and Chong in it. Don't do that. It can and will ruin experience. We're trying to help you out, and that goes with any medication. You take too much of it, and it can and will ruin your experience.
What's your preferred, most favorite method of consuming cannabis?
So, like I said, I'm the fan of this, of my volcano. I also carry around, I have a Da Vinci IQ2, and I do like edibles. You know what I mean? The edibles don't really, give me too much, because I believe because my tolerance is a little high unless I do take quite a bit, and even then, I just don't like how it gives me that feeling in my stomach. You know what I mean? So taking a couple of those, and getting me throughout the day. And then, of course, I do have my cartridge for emergency uses if I need it throughout the day, period.
And with that, Mario Enriquez, we would like to thank you so much. Everyone here at Salt Lake City, thank you for spending some time with us today. We are just down to our last minute of recording time available. So thank you again, Mario, for being with us today.
Thank you guys at Salt Lake City. Thank you guys for what you're doing for the green scene, the cannabis community. Keep it up. I can't wait to see what you guys do next, and then next, and then next. Just keep it going, baby. The future is looking green. So everybody out there, you stay safe, stay clean, stay green.
Stay green. Thank you so much, Mario. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, man.